Yeah, it just seems like common sense to me. And obviously, we always felt that it wasn't going to be isolated to 2020. So there's going to be different times when this reality may occur. So, I mean, the fact that it's happened early in the season is probably no surprise. But this wouldn't be we're going to be the first, and it's not going to be the last that we're going to have to make adjustments like this. And it sounds like a common sense result that the AFL have made.
What effect does it have on your preparation, if any?
No, look, it doesn't affect ours. I mean, we didn't know until right at the end of the session there that we weren't travelling. We were prepared to travel up on Wednesday. We understood the potential of having to fly up and back on the same day on Thursday. I don't think we're going to ever be surprised about what we might be asked to do after the last 12 months. So, but no, for us, we had a good session today, and we understand that you give up the home game later in the year for this game to be played away from a COVID risk area.
Can you turn it into an advantage being Gabba to Marvel now this time of year?
Oh well, in the end, whether it's the Gabba or Marvel or the MCG or out here, I mean, it's a football oval. The battleground is less relevant to us, to be honest, than what happens within it. We come up against a Brisbane side that performed really well last week in enemy territory down at Geelong and played a really strong brand of footy and could have easily won the game at the end. So, and they had a lot of young boys in that side. So we rate them. We've got a lot of respect for the way Brisbane have carried themselves for a number of years, but the way they've come back in the last couple of years, top four side, and have their backs against the wall. So we're under no illusions about what we're going to face.
Should we read anything with the fact that Geordie and Brodie Grundy weren't out there today?
Yeah, that they had a sniffle and that they've followed their COVID protocols and stayed at home away from the group. That's pretty much what it was.
So they've been tested then?
Yeah, that's standard protocol. We've much to the coaches' chagrin, there's probably been more lost sessions to runny noses in the last couple of months than we would like, but they're the extra precautions that we're taking to make sure that we don't have a repeat of last year. And we've done really well to keep COVID out of the AFL cohort for the large part. So that's the protocols are in place to prevent that, so the competition can go ahead. So that's part of the contingencies and part of the mechanisms we have in place to make sure that doesn't happen.
What's the time frame for reintegrating them back into the group?
Yeah, it's generally a negative test, which we get tested regularly enough, but a negative test and then we're back in.
So have you got those results back yet?
No, it's not a big issue. This is probably happening across the competition at every club every week. But now that I've put it on camera for you, please blow it up.
So you think they will play?
Yeah, they're playing.
Who comes in the frame for Jamie Elliott's spot in that 450?
Whether it's another forward role or whether we shuffle the deck chairs a little bit, but obviously, Billy's loss will be felt. He's a really important player for us. We were able to cover it, for the last couple of quarters last week, which was positive. But he'll heal up and get himself right, and we'll just next up. We believe we're about playing your role and being able to cover for people that can't be there. So Jamie's another one of those we just need to cover for. Yeah, look, he was actually okay. He looked fairly nonplussed on the ground. Whether it was a little bit of shock, but obviously he heard the crack when he went down. He's had the plate inserted, and now there's a lot of work to be done to get back through rehab, and he's unfortunately experienced at that. You'd love for him to get an even run at it. And for the last 18 months, he's been pretty good. So, we fingers crossed that he has a good recovery and he's back for the second half of our year and gets a decent run at it then.
Perhaps it'd be likely to see Jordan more station forward now, given his loss and the fact that how effective he was up forward.
Thanks for dropping the Geordie question in. I don't know. He obviously kicked 4 for us on the weekend and looked really good forward of the ball, but he still had his midfield time. So, yeah, look, he'll play both. That's his role. His role is a mid forward or a forward mid. And yeah, I'll probably give you the percentages week to week, but it will shuffle from time to time. But he looked good for us when we were getting the ball in our front half. It's not a bad place to have him.
Geelong went pretty hard at watching Neil.
Yeah.
Do you think Levi Greenwood could come into the frame to do that role? Or?
Yeah, we know Levi has been a really good stopper for us in the past, so that's a consideration for us. Neil's a quality player. He doesn't often put 2 bad ones together either, so it's it probably shows you how difficult it is as an elite player in the competition to continually back up. It's not as if coaches are sitting on their hands, ignoring the reality of quality players in the opposition. So he's definitely someone that we'll consider. They happen to have a few, like most sides do. So the job that O'Connor did was a strong performance. But I think there's also a team element to that as well, and what Geelong were able to do to stifle Brisbane as a whole.
As another senior coach, what did you think of Chris Scott's running of the Lions camp?
I haven't gone through it in detail. What I saw, that he was standing around where their huddle was, and he was asking Brisbane to move away from where the huddle was. That was pretty much what I saw. But as I said, I didn't analyse it that closely.
Sometimes the training, the colour of jumpers gives a hint to selection sometimes. Chris Mayne was wearing black today.
Yeah.
Is he in the frame coming?
Yeah, he's had a couple of solid weeks. He had concussion, sort of missed our 2 practice matches into the season proper. But his last couple of weeks has been pretty strong, and Nathan Murphy was in black as well on the other wing. So we've got a decision to make.
The VFL rule has been a talking point amongst other coaches. Did you
Yeah.
on it?
I've seen one game, and our GPS is a long way down, given that compared to what we need to do at AFL level. And I mean, I think we were in a perfect world. We would like to have the chance to prepare our young players, or the players that are in the second tier competition, as well as we possibly can, to come up into the senior competition. And the fact that there are different rules and regulations makes that problematic. But that doesn't mean that we can't cater for that, whether it's extra work, post-game, which is no fun for the players, but it's if we can do what has to be done. I understand the idea of having a look at different things, and the second tier competition is where you want that to happen. I think you can actually get some real-time feedback and enough data to actually make a decision off. So I can see both sides of the argument.
Would you be advocating for change, like some of the other coaches, or are you?
I can see both sides of the argument. So we're not even around 1 in the VFL into this yet. So, if we get enough data off a 6-week block in the practice matches leading into the VFL season proper, I'm sure powers that be may make that decision, that we've got enough information to be able to revert back to AFL rules or the senior rules. But I don't have enough information to have an opinion.